Coming to you live, coast to coast, Midwest to South to Mid-Atlantic to Northeast. Nothing on the West Coast.
Almost
Yeah.
Kicks podcast.
coast to coast.
Yeah, when you said coast to coast, I was like, which one of us is over there? Because we're not coast to coast.
We're
We have
all
a
in the
silent
Eastern
partner.
time zone.
We have a silent partner out in California.
Jeez.
What's up, everybody? I'm Alex. With me, as always, Ben, Stevon, and Faceless Nate. We're getting into facelift summer for Nate.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going on here? It's unfortunate.
My most recent Botox injection. All good.
Yeah. His lips are getting extra juicy. Anyway, boys, we've got the playoff for your life cup final, Europa League. Postecoglu
right.
versus Amorin, Man U, Tottenham. Ben, we'll hand it over to you. Who's winning this one?
Man,
I can't wait for this game.
The absolute game of their entire life.
I can't wait for this game, dude. It's getting...
No one's gonna be more upset than Mikel Arteta that one of these teams is getting into Europe.
I want a soundbite of Nate's laugh there for a bit. It was the most evilest laugh ever.
I did see it. I saw a tweet the other day. They were like, "You guys know that whoever loses that final, one of the teams is actually going to die." It's just not it's honestly worse for United. But you just think about Spurs.
Not really.
Losing.
It's just as bad for both.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's just United.
I disagree.
It's hard because, actually, I don't know.
For example, United plan on having, or if United plan on winning the Europa League, they still plan on having a private celebration, not public, because they're still embarrassed about the season. Versus Tottenham, who haven't won a title, and they still plan on, regardless of their season results, if they win the Europa League, they still plan on having an open top bus parade.
They would have to.
They're celebrating, a title.
It's just a double-decker bus in London that they're gonna occupy.
Yeah, it's just it's one of the red buses. Yeah.
United's won the Europa League, obviously Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup. You guys won the FA Cup in the last 5 years?
They beat City, right? It was under 10.
FA Cup?
Yeah, it was last year.
We won it last year.
Yeah. So I would argue that it probably maybe, based off that, probably matters a bit more for Tottenham to win it. But it's, I think, more embarrassing if United lose it. Does that make sense? Based off that? Well, we tried chat.
I think it's a little embarrassing if Manchester United lose it, in the sense that, what was it, 3 years ago? 4 years ago now? 3 years ago. They were also in a Europa League final with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. They lost that pretty narrowly, and then fired OGS, and then have been on this disaster tour and, I don't know, terrible dating experience with all these managers to only land themselves in the exact same spot. If they can win and get back into Champions League after coming, let's look at the table here, 16th place, 39 points. Highest they can achieve is 44 for the season. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty
4
good.
points from safety.
Yeah,
if you're really doing it like that, yeah, it's pretty rough. Sorry, Ben.
I'm good with it. You know what?
There's no chance. There's no chance you're good with it.
You know what we have in common with Liverpool this year?
Say what?
At the end of this year, you know what Liverpool and Man U will have in common? No Trent. Neither of us will have Trent. So that out there.
Oh, yeah. This is true.
I did see some.
How are you gonna boo him off the field?
Yeah, that was kind of bad.
What is the real
Speak for your people.
Happy to. Yeah. Oh, I agree. You know what? We can do me last. That's fine. We can go around the horn here.
What?
You last on that?
Yeah, I have comments. I disagree with most of the booing, but I
Yeah,
just
I would
Most.
disagree with most of it as well. I think he's been there since
Some
he
of
was
it
what, like
warranted.
6 or 10 years old, and now he's 26. So I think he's been there for 20 of his maybe 26, 25 years of life. So I think booing a guy that wants to maybe try something different after having served 2 decades to a club is a bit can't think of a good word for that, but not doesn't really sit right. But I think the manner in which he has decided to try and go could have been done. I think he probably could have done it any other way, and it would have went better.
You say he's given 2 decades?
I think so. I think he's been there
He's
since he was 6 years old.
26. He's
Yeah,
been
I
there
know.
since he was 6?
yeah.
That's what. Yeah, I'm almost certain of that. Nate.
Hmm.
It's like 6 or 8. It's like one. It's like I don't know
Either
why
way,
I have
close
6 or
enough
8 in my
for
head,
that
but
to
yeah,
not
it's
be
one
a
of those two.
stretch. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, he's been there for if he's not been there for 20 years, he's been there for extremely close to 20 years, and he's only 26. So to have had been there for so long, and to come through kind of one of your own, all that, come through first team, win the titles too, win the Champions League as well. Like he's not just he's done all of it with them, and wants to experience something new. I think it's a bit crass to maybe do that, to have that type of reaction. But like I said, him, I think transparency with your fans. Your fans are kind of like your family. Like they're like your extended family, like your friends. And transparency with the people closest to you is probably the best way forward with that type of relationship. So keeping your cards super close to your chest, being super vague, acting distant like that isn't gonna encourage warm feelings amongst your PR with your PR with the fans. So that whole I don't know, just dodging the question, not signing, not giving any insight, and then it's obviously his last season, so he's going to be going on a free. So now the club's not earning any money off of him, which they don't have to, but
Mm,
I mean they don't have to.
Management.
They didn't pay any money for him. They're not owed money back from a sale. He's not doing anything wrong.
That's what you get for investing in people, though. Like that's part of the business plan. The
Sure, I
best
get it, but
farmhouse
it's not a
clubs
rule.
need to sell those players. It's not a rule, but like I think that's where it kind of tips for me. I didn't connect the dot that it's a free transfer. That's 20 years they're sitting on someone that they're earning equity off of, and then weren't able to cash in on it at all. And also, he
I
did the exact
understand being
same
salty.
thing Mo Salah did.
Yeah, I understand being salty. I understand being salty. I don't know, and I also don't know, like the booing, for example, was that a small portion of the fans? Was it a majority? Was it half? If it's a small portion, I think that's understandable.
It's like
If it's
8
the whole
people.
stadium, that's overkill. If it's half, probably still overkill in my opinion. But if it's like that small portion, that one corner of the stand type thing, like, yeah, I get it.
I did
25%,
have
I get it.
friends. I had friends that were there. I had a group of friends,
Friend.
and they
Friends,
Liverpool
friends, Liverpool
Um,
friends.
and they did say, and also what I've read on the social medias is that it came most loudly from the cop, and all of the claps were from the main stand where not all the locals usually sit. So I'm gonna let Ben or someone else talk about it. I'd just like to let that resonate. Who sits the most in the cop? I think that stand usually speaks the loudest. So yeah.
The cop is one of the four sides, correct?
It's the home end. Only
But it's
local fans can sit there.
so
Yeah.
it is one of the four sides.
Yeah, it's one of the narrow sides, so it's like where the goal sits.
Yeah, I think that's understand. I think that's understandable. Then I think it's understandable.
I think it's not so
It
much that he is leaving; it's how he's leaving, right? I
for
mean,
sure. For no, 100%. That's it.
they 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 don't owe him anything, I guess, and kind of maybe feel entitled to boo somebody who said that he was gonna only ever wanted to play for one club, and now he's kind of trying to sneak out the back door and do like an Irish exit down
I like
to
that. That's a
down to Madrid.
great
I didn't
point.
know. I didn't know he said that.
Oh, he said that. He leaned into that. He leaned into the local boy persona like a year ago.
Yeah, that
He
was
did
what
a
saved
big
his job
interview.
for a little bit.
Yeah, he was like, I want to play here. I could see myself playing here the rest of my life.
Yeah, because that was what
Dang, something in the last almost a
he
chance.
was on the edge.
Klopp left, so that
He
must
was
have been
on
what
the
changed
edge of
his mind.
not playing for the club anyway, and I think became local hero to kind of etch himself within the Liverpool fans' mind that he was the guy we should rally behind. But at the same time, you'll never walk alone unless you win every honor for the club that you played
Unless
for
you go
as a
for
boy,
free.
and then go on a free transfer off to a non-rival club.
Either he's not being truthful when he said that he'd only want to play there for 1 year or for the rest of his life, or something changed in the past year.
He got a girlfriend in Madrid.
So well, actually, I think he's dating Jude Law's daughter. I don't know why the fuck I know that.
Yeah, no way.
I want to make sure I hit all my points here, and you guys made some good points. I think we could all hear it on the TV, right? When he was warming up, I could hear the whistles, and I kind of thought it was like a tongue in cheek, like, oh, they're having a little go at him. Then I heard the boos, and I was like, oh fuck, like god damn. I was like, okay. Apparently, they sung the Stevie G song, and they sung. I think someone else is coming on. They sung his song, so I felt a little bad for him. Yeah. So right, he's been here. Like, let's see, he went through like the U8 academy, U14, U18, U21. Was good enough to earn pro contracts, and then was good enough to get into like the 18-man squad. It's been insane. It's been ridiculous, but it's also Liverpool's fault for waiting to renew 3 of their best players in one window.
Yeah.
That's a huge error. But I will say this to counter that. I think it was about 4 years ago he signed his new deal, which I guess would be a 4-year deal. That was yeah. So he had the option. He could have done 5 years. Could have done 6 years. Real Madrid are infamous for signing players on free transfers. Messi, right? Mbappe. There are other ones. So
Wait,
I hope he
Messi,
signs
that's not Real Madrid.
I'm sorry. Did I say Messi? Wow.
Why did I?
Yeah. Mbappe. I know there are other ones. In my opinion, I'm going to be a massive conspiracy theorist here and say that I think there was some collusion going back a long time.
Collusion.
The Spanish version of collusion. Well done, Steve.
Sorry.
Steve's been doing Duolingo.
Duolingo.
All right, Steve's been smoking some jazz cigarettes.
They got Steve Minimum on it free.
Moral of the story, I kind of agree with all y'all's points. I'm not a big fan of the booing, but when you have it's like Liverpool, all the fans, it's like a cult. It is kind of like culty. Like we've got some weird shit going on sometimes, but if you leave it on a free to our biggest rival, and you could consider other teams big rivals as well, but we've literally lost 2 Champions League finals to this team. I hate them. We all hate Real Madrid. We hate them. I just thought it was pretty classless that he did that. And then he did shit with like his celebrations. The goal he scored against, was it Newcastle or someone? And he was doing like the talking celebration, and everyone's like, oh wow, he's telling everyone to like shut up, like things are getting better. No, just kidding. No, he's just gonna leave. So you can't expect the crowd to be happy. Like a crowd that's given you nights like Barcelona 5 years ago. A crowd that gives you crazy nights like that, you can't expect them to just kind of roll over after he announces he's leaving for free. Possibly a loss of probably 80 million. Literally could have been. I think he could have gone for that much. So
probably maybe,
give or take. So
I don't think you're too far off. No.
I'm grateful for what he did. He won everything. It's pretty great. I really liked him as a player. I think time will heal, especially if he doesn't do well there.
It's kind of sad though, right? You know what I mean? Like it's always sad when a player that has won you stuff, has been around, is like part of the club's identity, does move on. I think there's an element of that. Do you have any grieving going on, Nate?
How many stages are there again?
7.
I don't know. Oh, well, really?
Seven,
How'd you guys know
deadly
that?
sins. Are you mixing that one up?
Robot Chicken taught me that.
Done a few of those. Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm definitely sad about it, but I've come to terms with it because it's been the entire season. The club mishandled it by not renewing him, but I mean, him not saying a word and letting it play out, and that the Real Madrid newspaper mouthpiece La Marca just every day, every week is like he's agreed terms. His agent is in Madrid. It's just like, and he doesn't come out and say anything. So
What's
I kind
he
of get that he
supposed
did
to
that because of
say?
the title run in, but it was pretty frustrating.
What is he supposed to say? Like, hey guys, I just want you to know we're breaking up after the season.
I'm
I feel
glad
like
he
if you
didn't
are
do that.
loyal to your friends and fans, you're glad he didn't do that. I feel like I don't know.
I don't know how good it would have done. It would have caused.
It
It would have
caused
taken the attention off of Liverpool's massive achievement.
Yep.
I don't know if there's a better way to handle that. I think, Mo Salah kind of drug it out, made a meal of it. Big Mo.
I don't know. Klopp told everybody beforehand. I
He's
feel like he just
clapping
dragged
back.
it out.
He told him
like-
privately, and then
Mhm.
came out publicly like way later.
Yeah, he colluded. Speaking of collusion, we talked about this.
Yeah, but
He knew what he was
I
doing.
care way less about that. You know what, Alex? It's different, and I don't know how to explain it right now.
No, it's
Now
different
you
because
care less.
he
Now you won a title.
Klopp didn't spend the whole year before going like, I'm never going to coach anywhere else.
He didn't go to a direct rival.
He also
If
didn't do
he
that.
had gone to go manage
Do
Real
you
Madrid,
consider Real
I would've-
Madrid direct rival?
yeah, we probably should have. Yeah. One Champions League instead of, possibly 2.
Did we? Is now a good time for me to change subject? Did you guys
No,
see?
real quick. Real
Okay.
quick. Just a quick throwback history lesson of Nate brought up some of the best free transfers for Real Madrid. We have Stephen McManaman, not to rub it in for Liverpool. 1999.
Is Michael Owen also on there?
Pipeline.
Fernando Morientes, Real Zaragoza, 97. That's an old one.
Then
David
he came to
Alba.
Liverpool shortly after that.
From Bayern Munich. Then we have an advertisement. And we still have a lot of advertisements. So I guess it was just 3.
Are you on
Just
goal.com?
No.
Well, how much did Mbappe go there for?
It was
that
a
was
free
free.
transfer, but it was like an 80 million signing bonus something.
Yo, that's how they do. I mean, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, and obviously Trent. So maybe just 3, but Steve McManaman. I didn't know he went for a free. Steve McManaman. Anyway, Ben, change the subject before I speak.
All right. You guys ready for this? Did you see the? So we went from collusion to collision. Did you guys see that the Liverpool, Nottingham Forest and Leicester game this week?
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Taiwo Awoniyi
Go on.
hit the post. Y'all see that? And he ruptured. He ruptured his intestines.
Oh
Yeah,
Lord.
He's in a
He's in
coma
a-
right now.
He's in a medically induced coma right now. Yeah,
Oh Lord.
Do you know the drama behind it?
I guess I don't.
He's had a lot of prior injuries. I know that.
No, that's not where I was going. Essentially, they are blaming the delayed flag. So it was an offsides call that was not flagged quickly. And there's been claims or concerns over players getting injured for not necessarily this exact reason, right? But like, how they started holding up the flag a little bit later so that VAR could do VAR things. It was a delayed flag, which they just held off on because they could. and it resulted in him hitting a post and rupturing his intestines, which is preventable by eliminating VAR. So now, not as only is VAR ruining the game, it's hurting people.
Yeah, that's a big issue. You'll see players get pretty pissed off, like
Well, the
when
club's going
when there's
after
an
that
obvious like offsides, and like the play just like
That's
so annoying.
right. I'd be lying if I could tell you like accurately if it was close enough for that to play on. But the directive is assistants have VAR. They don't put up their flags early.
We could also talk
I
about
didn't-
the owner coming down onto the pitch. That's also funny. No,
That was
yeah,
wild.
with his
That is
iPhone
funny.
6.
No, it's not. Yeah, Marianakis or whatever.
Yeah,
With his iPhone 7.
iPhone 7.
He's I did a little Wikipedia research on him. He's essentially a Greek gangster. His Wikipedia page is pretty funny.
Yo, is he coming on the pod?
I don't know
He
if
ain't
he
getting
could
probably
come
would,
onto
dude.
here with his equipment. I think it's too old. He's got like the plug-in headphones.
Okay, so does Steve.
How does his phone even still work?
What do you mean?
This
No,
phone
I
just
don't.
stopped working.
It's honestly most impressive that an iPhone 7 still works in 2020.
He's got a Zune.
I used to have a Zoom.
Um,
I traded somebody for a click wheel iPod.
from collusion to
Collision.
collusion. I don't watch a lot of Spanish football.
Ah, bonjour.
No one does.
I don't watch a lot of Spanish football, so my sample size is incredibly small, incredibly pequeño. But
What do you mean?
I watched that Real Madrid Barcelona game, and I don't think you can. I don't think you can make it make sense to me how Barcelona doesn't get a penalty, but Real Madrid does get a penalty.
Oh yeah.
That game positively stunk, and it was I just thought it was glaringly apparent. You always
Mhm.
see like on Twitter and other things like that, like Real Madrid get calls and stuff like that, and as a neutral, I kind of just think, oh, they're just salty. Like obviously they had some stake in the game towards the opposition, so the fact that it didn't go their way, they're a little salty, understandably, about it. So I never really paid much heed by that, or by what you kind of read like that. But seeing it for myself and just watching it, I was like, "There's something else going on." It just seemed like there's something else going on here. It has to be something else going on here because it just didn't.
Dude, it's wild.
It was super wild.
It's
It was.
wilding out.
Did you? Are you guys? I can't like.
I know what you're
There's a
talking
couple
about.
of there's a
If you're
couple of
Barcelona
instances in
fan,
that
you're not
game.
going to agree with this, but I
They're
kind
the
of
bad guys.
yeah, I don't love the cooking of the books, but Real Madrid's not much better. The one thing that was kind of cool is to see El Clasico mean something again because it's been kind of
Yes,
sure.
agreed.
been a minute. And are there 37 or 38 games in La Liga? Yeah,
Good
see,
question.
no one watches Spanish soccer.
There's 2 more games, I think, right?
38 or
Should be
37?
38.
Because
I think
right
it was
now,
38.
Barca have a game in hand.
thought it was
So it is
38.
coming down to the wire. Someone's fact checking me, I assume. Anyway,
Oh, sorry, I thought you froze.
Yeah. We got.
yeah, I appreciate that. So I think you guys are the worst podcast hosts I've ever met.
I thought you froze genuinely. I was trying to figure
I did. That was just the way I think. I get that all the time. People ask if I'm glitchy.
Oh.
out. But yeah, it was. I mean,
It's a great game.
yeah, it was a good game. Good game, end to end. Pretty atrocious defending.
Barca's high line has got to be the funniest thing. They just commit to it. They're like, yeah, we're going to concede probably 2 to 3 goals a game.
We do not believe
Yeah.
in defending.
But we'll
No.
score 5.
Harry
Yeah, we'll
Maguire's
score
been saying that all along. I'm just saying, like, no defense, no problem. This will be the first time that Barca will win something not in the new camp because they're not in the new camp this season, are they?
It's like the it's like some
the
guy's
Olympic
name. It's like
Stadium.
an Olympia
It's playing
stadium.
in the Spanish like national stadium, right?
Yep.
That's kind of interesting. When is the new camp slated to reopen? And
Oh,
also, how did they have money to pay for that, but not pay for their staff?
These are questions I don't think anybody has the answer to.
I think there's probably about 8 people.
Can
Yeah,
you wait,
or
Steve? Can you say that word again? Can you say that word again? You were saying earlier.
Collusion.
Can you put some Catalonian flair on it? Maybe like
New camp expected to open 2026-27 season.
That's amazing. They even have to do permitting.
So
that's the
August
fastest
26th.
project I've ever heard of. On top of them not having money, they didn't get permit.
You got to add the Spanish Fiesta tax onto the 2026, so that's going to be more like the 2028. So
yeah,
I don't know if they're going to get it done, but I don't.
They're trying to sign Marcus Rashford. They're trying to. I don't know how these things.
Dude, that would be the best thing for his career right now.
Maybe a Messi return.
I could see that. I feel like
Miami.
that's in the wind. You know they're going to get him back.
Yep. Oh, for a year, and then he'll retire.
Yeah, I could.
So
yeah,
you think so?
We're doing 2 or 3.
He wants to leave Inter Miami, dude.
Yeah,
I read that all. I read that all the time.
He ain't about that MLS.
Really? I haven't heard any reports of him wanting to leave.
Steve, I constantly hear these whispers and murmurs. I'm always hearing them. I'm everywhere.
Where? Reddit, Twitter? Where you at? What?
Dude, silence, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, did I glitch?
Twitter.
I'm
got him.
Twitter. Got it. Okay.
What if it was the last time we ever heard Nate speak? Like that was it. Like
definitely arrange that.
20 years from now, you're at a gas station.
That's interesting, though. I mean, because, dude, if he leaves, which inevitably he'll either leave or retire, but if he left to go somewhere else, and that somewhere else was
Real Madrid,
a previous home of his, like it goes back to Barca. I don't know, man. Gosh, I guess it's not that big of a deal, but I think that's
in the first place.
No, I understand that, but now he's 37, approaching. He's like a couple of months. He's like 1 month away from 38. Barcelona trying to recapture something that no longer exists is just
he's kind of fault. Yeah,
the jersey sales alone make it worth their time.
Okay, so are you trying to make money or are you trying to win titles? I understand it's a business. I understand
they got to beat one team. La Liga is the Spanish version of the Scottish Premiership.
Atletico Madrid.
It's like, what's your ambition now? If your strategy to progress, to evolve the club is to regress, if Messi's leaving is Jordi Alba and Busquets and Suarez, they all coming back to Barcelona?
That is not,
like, you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing?
I'm not even sure if he's going. I just know he wants to leave Inter Miami, and I can't really see him going to
Newell Old Boys. Go back to Argentina.
Yeah, I don't know. I will say, whenever I watch him play for Inter, he is always just walking. He walks the line from like striker to right winger all the time, and he'll sometimes walk over. He just walks and waits for the ball. He hangs on the shoulder, and then that's when he runs. Like
he's been doing that for some years now, though. I actually had read an article talking about how his game has shifted, and he's got to conserve. The article portrays that shift that you're describing there as a shift in focus, or like a kind of he's not explosive for 90 minutes, but he has to play for 90 minutes, so he
paces himself.
Yeah, he paces himself. Any team that he plays for, his 10 other teammates understand that they have to do his running for him and get him the ball in certain spots, and they know that if he's conserving his battery enough, that he can do what Messi does in those moments, as long as he's not spending it on non-Messi things. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I agree with you completely, Steve, and that just seems smart. But the thing is with Messi, why I think he's still got a little bit more in the tank, he's not had that injury that like a lot of players will have. Like no ACL,
for sure,
no knees,
for sure.
The occasional ankles, mainly from being hacked, but like
right,
he's stayed fit and healthy. And I think that there's a little bit of a duration and a career that comes with that. Kind of like if you think back, Ryan Giggs had a really long run before he was a POS, even if he was a POS to begin with. But he was fit for a long time, didn't suffer a lot of major injuries, didn't pick up a lot of knocks. And I think that's just an indicator that you could see him playing into 40.
Sure.
Zlatan was like, what, 38, 39 when he did his knee?
Ryan Giggs kind of he changed his changed from being
Strategy?
that speedy winger to being a whole position change to be like a center midfielder, someone who's not so much box to box. Messi still kind of plays the same position. He plays on the wing. He plays about the same position, I would say. His directness is just. I still think he's direct. It's honestly it's just he just does it. He does it. He chooses his moments as to when to do it. It's a strategy change for sure for any team that he's trying to be fit into. But as long as everybody can get on the same page that hey, we got to do his running, we have to do his work, and if we can get him the ball in certain spots,
It's a
he
goal.
can he can make it happen. Yeah, he can make it happen. It's an interesting approach. It's a different approach. It does make it look lazy, but like the article I was quoting like says like in the first 5 minutes like he doesn't get out of walk, he walks. He's either standing or walking. He's like looking at the gaps, how much gaps is the opposition leaving between the lines of like the midfield and the back line, and where are the points to exploit. And then after about 5 minutes you start seeing him start to try and poke holes or like exploit in these certain little spots. They really did a deep dive on only Messi things
Do
in
you
his
think
later stage of his career. It was interesting.
Do you think Messi looks like a garden gnome?
I think there's a case for it.
I think it's probably the lesser talked about facts about Lionel Messi.
Yeah, perhaps, yeah. Sunderland.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Nice. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Beating Coventry. That was a good game. Oh my God, that was a good game.
It was a really good game. I just stood there with my jaw dropped when that.
As a neutral, it was crazy to watch because you knew it was at stake. You thought it was going to penalties, and for a game to end like that, gosh, I couldn't even imagine what that guy. Don't even know his name. Can't remember it right now. The guy at center back who scored that
It's
goal.
like it starts with a B. It's like
I was gonna say Burns, but I don't think that's right.
So like BR, like Brawley. It's like some big meaty. He was a big fucking meathead.
Couldn't even imagine.
Bread.
Huge, big meat pie guy.
Admin, what's wrong? Hold on, admin, what's wrong, dude? Why are you shaking your head? I don't get it.
I just somebody inbred must have scored the goal. I think.
Yo, holy shit!
Is the most.
I think all 25 fans at the stadium of Shite probably raised their hands in excitement.
Gosh, I thought that stadium was packed.
It was.
It was for a shit stadium.
Very unorthodox header though. I mean, he about sandwiched himself in half. Yeah. He was kissing his toes. He was kissing his toes when he hit the ball with his head. It was strange.
They've only figured out how to play the game like yesterday. So,
but gosh, so they play on the 24th. I think the same day that Celtic play Aberdeen in the FA Cup final. They play Sheffield United. If I had to give a guess as to who goes through, Sheffield United or Sunderland, you'd have to imagine it's Sheffield. I mean, in this current moment, they're the yo-yo club. They're the ones that go up, they go down, they go up, they go down. Sunderland obviously had been there in the past, but they've been now down for so long that I think to make that jump is a little bit more to ask for than Sheffield United, who have been benefiting from,
what day did you say they play?
I thought it was the 24th.
Saturday. I think isn't it Memorial Day weekend on a Saturday?
So it's the day before Newcastle plays Everton to possibly finish second in the Premier League and go to the Champions League. That's when Sunderland plays.
I think Alex is so afraid to possibly lose against Sunderland next year. Yeah. I think he like woke up on a cold.
That's frankly what would happen, though. That's exactly what will happen. Is we'll finish second this year. It'll be great. We'll go to Champions League. Sunderland will somehow manage to, I don't know.
You just spank them next year. No big deal.
No,
they really don't have any
they'll
good
figure
players.
out a trapdoor into the Premier League, and then they'll be like, "Whoa, we'll be back," and they'll fucking beat us. It'll be the stupidest game ever, and it'll just be so dumb. We'll punch a horse. Like a horse is in. Horses have never been more afraid of Sunderland potentially coming back up to the Premier League.
I would have to imagine Sheffield United, though. I would say probably like 70 to 30%.
Wait, is Chris Wilder still their manager?
No, I think Chris Wilder's actually in MLS.
No.
Yeah, Chris Wilder got canned, didn't he?
It's wiling out.
Hold on.
Yeah, I thought. Is he? I can't remember anymore. I thought I would pen it on MLS. I don't know why.
Guys, nobody.
He's the
But-
manager of Sheffield.
Chris
Yeah,
Wilder.
so, yeah. Yeah,
English
he's a
football
prick.
manager.
I just spot. I want Sunderland back in for pure Barclays moments again, but I do think Sheffield will win. Because
Yeah,
what Sunderland lost like 4 games in a row before that, and they had to take it to the 120th minute against Coventry. I mean, thank God, Fat Frank Lampard didn't. It's the curse of Lampsey. Couldn't do it with Derby.
but you have to give credit where credit's due. When Lampard took over that position, which did Lampard take over that position this season?
Yes.
Yeah, they were 17th.
Lamps is
They were,
terrible.
they were 17th. Coventry were 17th position, and to go to the wire on
Yeah, it's very impressive. It is.
like that's insane.
It just
I
doesn't fit
think
my
that's-
agenda.
I'm just putting out the facts. But yeah, I would have to. I think you'd probably have to favor Sheffield United on beating Sunderland when the time comes. But we'll see. It'll definitely be an interesting game. I mean, everything to play for. Put it all out there. Probably it's going to be each one of those teams' last game of the season, and not many international players there. So there's not a whole lot to be playing for the summer, like resting in 2 weeks' time or nothing like that. No international tournaments, nothing like that. So these players are going to be emptying the tanks to try and get into the Premier League on May 24th. So it'll be exciting to watch. One to watch for sure.
It is one of the best parts about the championship. I do enjoy the playoff aspect.
It's wild. It is truly wild. Real quick before we get into trash takes, where are they now and what have you not? Great Scott. Celtic played today against Aberdeen, which was a dress rehearsal, I suppose you could say, of the FA Cup final coming up here, also on the 24th. Honestly, when I watched the game, we scored first, then we got to 1-1. We scored a goal just before halftime, deep into added time. It was the second half. I think this is honestly pretty much a replica of Aberdeen's season. The first half of their season was great. The second half of the season's been abysmal. They don't have the quality to take them through 90 minutes against a strong opposition. I watched the second half, the complete second half of the game, and Aberdeen creates chances. They made Celtic really uncomfortable at spots where it was kind of like last ditch defending type stuff. Goalkeeper being forced into saves. The thing is that they're just not clinical enough to convert those chances. I think that's what's going to be their undoing in the final. I would have to favor, obviously, Celtic beating them 5-1 today, but 5-1 on paper sounds a lot different than what I saw on the TV. Aberdeen can hurt you. I think they're a pretty strong side that really create a lot of problems. They just don't finish their dinner. That's the issue. That's the issue. They do everything else. Yeah, they do everything else. They just don't finish it. It's just kind of like it's just that final kick of the ball to get it from play to the back of the net. That final one, just the quality's not there. The quality is great for the whole build up, creating the chance, everything. It's just that last one they just struggle with. I think that's going to be their undoing.
You guys want to get into Newcastle's badge? Should we change it?
Yeah, enough said.
Um,
The one in the middle.
Which one?
I
Enough said.
like the 83 to 88. I like that as like this recent trend of having like a third kit being like a throwback badge or something like that. Having
Yeah.
that be your like outright out and out badge.
Yeah.
Not a fan of it. Um, because so we in the P chat just real quickly. I know we talked about like that. Everyone's doing this rebranding thing to try and make things more modern. It's really just cost saving. How to make things less complex looking, less colors, where you can easily screen print it, heat press it, embroider it.
Label.
How can you make it as easy to apply to like stitch, like printing on a hat? That middle badge, easy to print or stitch onto a hat. These other ones, a lot more difficult and costly. Um, if you continue down that same vein of thought, though, every badge for every club will be a circle that has two colors and a lion or a bird, or you know what I mean, like a clip. Like it's going to be a basic drawing in a circle, and there's going to be no soul in any of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I get your cost cutting, but at what cost? That was a good one. That just wrote itself. The ball felt good leaving the hand on that one.
Sorry, Steve, that was great, man.
I'm just patting my own back. Nobody else has to.
No,
I
no.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, wait, I like that. Wait, go back to that badge on the right. What was that badge on the right?
Shit.
I think the badge on the right looks pretty good.
Shit. Hold on.
He's gone forever. He lost it.
This one? The Saudi
Yeah.
badge?
Yeah, put that on there.
Private
It's pretty
public
minimal.
investment fund. Something like that. Yeah, pretty minimal. It's just the scimitars and the tree or something.
Yeah.
I think there were some like
Very-
made ones on this
It's
page.
very northern English vibes I'm getting.
Dude, this would be dope. Just Newcastle Brown.
Yeah. I don't know. There's like a handful, a small handful of artists that are being consulted for new teams in the United States to make the badges. A lot of like USL 2, USL 1 championships sometimes. Like Carolina Core, the badge for them. There's a long catalog, and they look cool. They look great, but they all look the same. And I worry that if like everybody continues to continue doing this with what Newcastle is currently experiencing, every badge is going to just be diluted down into like a basic badge. Everyone's gonna be. It's just. I don't know. We'll see, man. I don't know.
Yeah. It's
I don't like it.
it's a sad state of affairs. I feel like we can either change the badge. I'm okay. Look, listen, we've changed the badge before. Obviously, we just showed a
Badges
couple
change.
renditions.
Yeah.
Just change all the time. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. I hope they consult the fans and don't just do it purely for the money.
Are you guys buying Trent Alexander?
And that's what I think. That's what I think it's ultimately for. It's not
100%
only.
for the money.
It's
and if
not.
it is
Yes.
that way, then it can be
Yeah.
that, and we don't get a new stadium, or we get a new stadium, and we don't change the badge. You got to keep something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You can't abandon everything. You can't abandon.
Nope.
Everything. Yeah. You.
It doesn't matter if we just win Champions League 5 years in a row. If we have something you can't recognize.
Yeah.
What
Yeah. And they
was when we were in the championship.
Yeah. I don't know. Because like badges are like coat of arms, kind of like they're the details are there for reasons. You know,
Right.
you can't.
Right.
The stripes are there for a reason. They're vertical for a reason, and there's these birds and these little tiny little things everywhere. Everything is there for a reason. Nothing is extra. So taking away all of it is making it into something it's not.
That was nice, Steve. I agree with that. Yeah.
seen a lot of renditions that people have made, which is cool. You know, it's fun. People get to have their little doodle, but a lot of them just end up looking like something you would earn in like Boy Scouts, like a little badge that you're just
Yeah.
so it means nothing. Means nothing.
Here's the Saudi investment fund badge. You get this
Yeah.
for dealing with the Saudi Arabian government. Sorry.
Twitter user XYZ like made this, so we think it's cool and we're gonna go with it. Like, nah.
Yeah.
This one's pretty badass. So anyway, should we do trash teas?
Trash.
Sure.
Gotta say.
Yeah.
Baby.
We got 10% left on the phone battery. We'll be able to get it in.
Let's get her in then. All right. So we have, let me make sure I get this right one up for you, you fine people. Boom, boom, boom. You have Aston Villa and Spurs. And then we'll go through Crystal Palace and Wolves.
Newcastle to
Spurs
move to
for sure.
Arsenal.
And maybe we can just touch on the state of top four very briefly after this, top five actually.
Yeah, that's
Because
definitely.
it is pretty insane if you look at who's playing away as well.
But going back to what I said, Newcastle is going to lose to Arsenal.
Newcastle's
Okay.
lose to Arsenal. All right. Ipswich, Leicester.
Leicester to beat Ipswich. That's mine.
So
Yes. They're going to score like
Chelsea,
3
then.
goals as well. It's going to be hilarious.
you'd imagine Chelsea beat. Wait, no, is Chelsea still in the Conference League?
Yeah, they have to play.
Is it the final?
Shit. Yeah. Who are they?
Who are they
Why can I
playing?
not place that right now?
Fiorentina.
No, is it Betis? Is it Real Betis?
Oh, it is Real Betis. I think it is. I think
Yeah.
Manuel Pellegrini. I don't know if anyone saw his get up for his semifinal game the other day. It was
No.
a Kappa tracksuit. Real
Nice.
Betis. It was one of the most beautiful things
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
nice.
Yes, on the 28th they play midweek.
Gosh, you don't-
midweek final.
You don't know who Chelsea and United would be winning because you'd imagine they'd be trying to rest.
Man,
know what I
don't
mean?
care.
Man,
They're
you
still
don't
gonna
care.
field their strongest 11 and just send it. Is that what you meant?
Yeah, they have thrown in the towel.
Okay, so Spurs, I'd imagine would also be resting. So, I mean, because what are you gonna do when you see what are you gonna do in the season? Finish 16th? Sweet. So,
Lay it on him, Steve.
I mean, fuck. So Villa probably beat
Remember when
Spurs. Not a
Ange
big.
said I usually win things in my second season? I guess he could win a
Yeah.
trophy.
He could, and then he could do the
could
best
still-
thing, and he could the presser after the game. He's like, "Fuck you! I said I'd do it." Mic drop. Leave Tottenham. Never
I
come
fucking
back.
told you so, me.
Or and then the other end of that is United plummet into
What's-
Mariana's Trench.
What's the Crystal Palace game? Who they play?
CP play Wolves.
Fuck. Nothing's calling my name here. Brent. I think Brentford will probably beat Fulham.
Yeah,
City, Bournemouth. You know what? Let's just go. Bournemouth gonna beat City.
I was gonna do a shot.
before the FA Cup final coming up in a week or so. Crystal Palace
It's-
versus City. That's a great one.
Yeah, Bournemouth. Yeah, Bournemouth beat City. I'm sticking it in.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, stick it in, Steve. Yeah, man. Go for it.
Yeah.
Go. Yep. Oh, yeah. There it goes.
There he goes.
Sticking it in.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Left
I'm
field.
doing Forest are gonna beat West Ham and make the
I almost
top
said
five
that.
race interesting here. And that is a excellent segue, Alex, into looking at the top five here.
Thanks.
Liverpool, obviously champions.
Top 7.
You got Arsenal at 68 points in second
Wow.
place. Newcastle in third on 66. City, 65 in fourth place. Chelsea, 63. And Aston Villa on 63 points in fifth and sixth. Seventh place. Lowly Nottingham Forest on 62 points. Yet
They could be up at fourth.
Yeah, they're 4 points behind second place. So
My
no, 6 points.
that's not true. 6.
Quick
Yeah,
maps.
That's, Wow, that's pretty insane.
And yeah, you got the big game, obviously, Newcastle Arsenal this weekend.
Oof, that'll be one to watch. I don't know if I'll be able to.
It's
but
early
try to.
Saturday morning too. It's like 7 a.m. Saturday, so it's kind of
Wait, it's not 7:30. It was one of the rare 7 a.m.ers.
yeah. No,
God, I
it's
hate
early.
those so fucking much.
Yeah.
Well, she. All right. Well,
Oh, it looks. Did they flex it? Can they flex games now?
Yo,
I didn't even know what that means.
It's Sunday at 11:30 now. I swear to God, this was the 7 a.m. game.
That's unbelievable.
Oh, I'm definitely missing that game then.
Yeah, they definitely moved this. It's going to be like on TV in England. I bet. I'll bet. Sky
Hmm.
Sports. Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, can't remember who Chelsea has in run in. I think they have some ridiculous run in too. Okay. Man U and Nottingham Forest, so they have to play each other. Nottingham Forest. Yeah.
God damn.
Nottingham. Villa. Any shot in making top five?
yeah.
I mean, gonna have to
100%.
be.
Possible.
Could lose. Chelsea could absolutely bottle it.
They look so bad
The only
still. I
person that
mean,
doesn't have
like
something to play for, I mean, like in terms of like another final or something like that, is Villa, and yeah, it's Villa, right? And
Yeah.
Forest, Villa and Forest are the only ones. Chelsea have a Europa Conference League final. City have the FA Cup final. United, Newcastle, are well,
Villa
Newcastle don't
play
have a
Man U
final.
on closing day.
Mm,
Yeah, we already won our final.
exactly. Yeah. I don't know, man. It'll be spicy. It'll be real spicy. Watch this space. Two games left to go.
whoa,
This top seven
watch
could
the
shuffle
space.
quite a bit.
God
City
willing.
have Bournemouth and then
Inshallah.
Fulham. So that's
Inshallah, dude.
inshallah.
But
Let's
and
see.
so Newcastle have to play like Arsenal, and then who's the last one?
Everton.
So
If
it's
I
like
disconnect,
it's
it's
a
because my phone's about to
nasty.
die.
What were you saying?
No, I'm just saying. If you get a point against Arsenal, I guess it depends what city. I mean,
I
I need
know.
like a whiteboard to write all this shit out right now.
I know.
I
It's
can't do it on my
very
phone.
easy that
It's like
we would be on 67, say we tied 67 and City win. They're on 8.
even going to 68 could still keep you. Two draws could still keep you because Chelsea and Villa are so bad, and City are also kind of bad. But also, you could see City easily thwomping someone. They could beat the shit out of who are they playing?
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth.
Yeah, probably won't happen. But they've been pretty bereft of 5 and 6-0s this season. You just kind of think at some point they're going to have one.
Yeah.
And
The
then
good thing I
Chelsea,
feel like is
shit.
Chelsea play Forest on the last day. So it's
That's
like,
going to be a great that could be a UCL Europa
man,
League
that'll be a good
decider.
one.
I mean,
Yeah, that'll be a
yeah,
good one for sure.
yeah.
yeah. That's why I want Forest to win, just so they keep themselves in that conversation one more week. That'd be beautiful.
Come on, Tree.
Beautiful.
Come on, tree.
Okay. All right. Cool. Is that it? Everybody good?
I believe
Ben,
so.
you're fantastic.
We're on 1%. I might see this outro.
Nice. Steve, you're looking tan.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Maryland was actually no. Maryland was hot. Maryland was hot,
Cool.
except for the last
Cooking,
day. Rained a lot.
cooking crab.
Yes, sir.
All right. Cool. See you guys.
Au revoir.